Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That'll separate the young from the old from the young.
The old.
When did Pearl and Dean stop being a thing?
I think they might still be a thing, actually.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Harp-Hammered Horror with me, Jose McCracken IV.
And me, Laura.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That was a stretch of the imagination, wasn't it? Now, I am, of course, as always, Jamie McCullough of York, and this is Laura Williams of York. And
York.
Hey, we said we were going to do one in February, and here we are.
The last day of February. Nearly.
Hey, it's the second to last day of February. What is going on with my hair?
I don't know, but all I can hear in the corner of my ear. What? That's not a thing.
In the corner of my ear.
All I can hear in the corner of my ear is your hair going pff, pff.
It was a calm and stormy night.
And there was a little dog outside the bedroom window.
I could hear him barking in the corner of my ear.
But suddenly, I realised that he had duck's feet.
I'd panic. I'd panic. I mean, that's not...
No.
So, hopefully we've got the tech right. Hopefully we're sounding good and we're looking fly and everything is pretty hunky-dory. Now, in the past, as is happening already now, I became really aware because I can talk.
That you're just talking and I'm just sitting next to you going.
Because we often do these late at night, and this little lamb here, she often has to be awake very early in the morning to go to work.
A little lamb.
A little lamb. She's very, very tired. She's very sleepy.
Nah.
And it's like even now, it's like I got a future watch. It's 9:30. And you were at work at 9 o'clock this morning, 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
That's been a long day, so sometimes Laura's a little bit tired. So I've said for this one, I'm going to just kind of sit back and shut the fuck up.
It's not going to happen. We all know that.
I'm going to let Laura do the talking. I don't know what we're talking about tonight. I got a few things that I maybe want to talk about. Will I get to them? Who knows? Let's
Probably
find
not, because
out.
I've got a list of things that I want to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
let's do it.
First of all, there's something that's been troubling me all week.
Tell me, Laura.
And some of the people around me may have been aware. It's affecting my... Jesus Christ, he's interrupted me already.
I'm listening, but also there are snacks.
Do you know what he's doing? He's got mini cocktail sausages.
You put them
and
next
he's
to my legs.
just retrieved them from under the table. Like Mary Poppins in her handbag.
There's something in that one.
That's a toe.
Bit of hoof or something.
You picked the wrong one there. Anyway, let me get back to my story. So, something's been troubling me this week. I saw it in a news story the other day, and it caught my eye, and then I looked more into it, and then I wished I hadn't.
Okay.
So, there's this thing going around at the moment in the news where young kids have been on WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger doing this thing called the Momo challenge.
Okay.
And apparently some kids have died, so it's really serious.
I don't know what this is.
And I was like, it seems like something I should know about. So, oh dear, trod on some mini cheddars. I Googled Momo challenge and oh my God. Scarred for life immediately.
What is the Momo challenge?
So Momo is this character. It's like a model that I believe a Japanese designer made.
Okay.
It's like a woman's head with really big starey eyes and like straggly black hair and a face like... but it's the bust with some tits.
So for those of you who are listening to this on the not video version, you just pulled a really stretched mouth and
like
big eyes.
Like a stretchy gurney
face.
Like,
it's kind of like that sort of J-horror sort of image.
Yeah.
Like The Ring.
But a bit more stretched. And with boggly eyes.
Boggly eyes.
And it's on like a kind of bird's body.
What the fuck is... What is...
It's
what?
like look it up. It's like a bust. Like tits and a woman's face. Really friggin' terrifying face. Just on bird legs.
Bird legs, boobs.
Yeah, and it's called Momo. Anyway. I'm sure the designer didn't intend this to happen. He thought he was just making this really cool piece of scary art. But it transpires that what has occurred, Jesus, is that do the Momo challenge, you like get in touch with this number and Momo sends you challenges. And if you don't do the challenges, she'll come and get you in your sleep and kill you. I mean, it's not true. But kids, really little kids, are taking it too seriously, and
like, how old are these kids?
From like, I don't know, like old enough to have a mobile phone.
So like a month.
Yeah,
In the
12-ish,
womb.
12-ish,
Still in the womb.
12.
Wow, they should know better then.
No, but they're things like the challenges to eat a Tide Pod,
Oh,
or like cut yourself or something.
oh, this isn't good.
I know. And then if they don't do it, they think she's going to come and murder them in their sleep. But so I was walking around. We all know I work in a cinema. I was walking around doing all the safety checks this morning. Couldn't get the image of this friggin' duck bitch out of my head. And every time I opened a door, and the squeak sounded like someone going, ah, and I was like, oh my God, Momo! I even tried to convince a guy that I work with to do it for me, but he wouldn't.
He wouldn't go fight Momo for you?
No, he wouldn't fight Momo for me.
No fight Momo.
Yeah, I was really scared.
That's horrible. That's a real bright and breezy opening to the show.
I was thinking about it in the shower as well, actually. Do you know what? It's funny. I feel like I need to share this now. I don't think I've told you this before.
Thinking about Momo in the shower.
But yeah, so we've got a shower curtain, and you can see like shadows through it, like you can like a frosted shower curtain or whatever.
Frosted shower curtain.
And I always have to keep the bathroom door open in the morning because the cats will scream through the door hole if I don't. And when we watched The Haunting of Hill House, you remember the bit where you see like a woman against some frosted glass, just like the outline of her, and you're like, oh my God, because in the context it's terrifying. Anyway, I kept thinking I'd seen someone against a shower curtain, like, looking in at me when I'd watched that, and now it's Momo.
Mate, that's an emotional thing. Now, if you don't know, if you haven't seen The Haunting of Hill House, I think, have we mentioned it on the podcast before? We did some episodes.
Talk about the bent neck lady,
It's got this really wonderful thing where they have what are called hidden ghosts, and they have these really long sweeping shots, lots of transitions and stuff, and they will always just it was like a little game, wasn't it? It was like hunt the hidden ghosts.
We only did it for the first few episodes though.
So now you have the hidden Momos.
Don't even. Oh God, I heard a noise outside. Momo's here.
That's some bleak. So it's like a sort of that's augmented reality sort of thing in a way, because this is there are like escape games that you can play now, but they're like citywide ones, and you play them via WhatsApp. So obviously someone's taken that and just made it into something reprehensible.
It's seriously like they're putting out warnings on the news all the time now to parents saying like, have a word with your kids and say like, if something scary comes up on your phone, let me know, and if they're older then tell them seriously don't do it. Like, tell me about Momo.
I don't like that.
But going back to The Haunting of Hill House.
Nomo.
There's another one coming out.
They've announced season 2, haven't they? Season 2 of The Haunting of...
I don't know if they said... Haunting of Bly Manor.
Bly Manor, that's it.
I don't know if they said when it's coming out. Probably the end of this year?
I imagine it'll be end of this year, maybe next year.
Apparently it's based on The Turn of the Screw.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm glad they did that, because I obviously... If you've seen Haunting of Hill House, you know it's kind of quite insular. Like, it's a one-off story. And I think if they try to extend that story, that universe, where could you take that?
So it seems like they're doing a bit of a American Horror Story kind of thing, like starting a different story. And they might have like a little link or something. They've not ruled that out.
American Horror Story went very much off the rails, didn't it? That's a real Marmite show. Some people love.
Apparently the new series links it all together.
Apocalypse.
I hear that every time.
Apocalypse. Because the last 2 or 3 seasons of American Horror Story really were like ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Roanoke was amazing and awful in equal measure. It was bizarre. It was a really odd one. Really odd. Really odd. Really odd. Mm.
But The Haunting of Bly Manor, and there's a little trailer for it. Have you seen it?
I haven't. No.
It's basically just like it says The Haunting of Bly Manor. Am I saying that right?
Well, I don't know.
Sorry if you hit my stomach then.
Well, the Haunting of
it's
Bly
just
Manor.
like a black screen with the writing on. B-L-Y.
Yeah,
Bly.
yeah, Bly.
And it's just like someone whispering. It's like lots of whispering over each other. And it's they're saying like, oh, I can't remember what they say. Something like the worst thing I've ever seen. Just empty spaces. Or something like an empty hole. Oh, no, that sounds a bit...
I've got an empty hole.
Yeah, but it's really freaky.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen?
What's the worst thing I've ever seen?
You just said you were. What's the worst thing you've ever seen? What's the worst thing you've ever? What's the worst thing you've ever seen?
Seen some pretty bleak stuff.
I've seen some pretty rough things.
Go
with the worst but most hilarious thing you've ever seen. For me, I was on my way to this office.
Sharknado?
Oh, don't do that. The guy that produces Sharknado follows me on Twitter. And it was one of those ones where you watch a film sometimes, and I always try to put out nothing but love for all the films that I see, because we know how hard it is to make stuff. And I think I'd watched I'd watched a bit of Sharknado, and I was not being kind about it, because I just think, what a wasted opportunity. You're making a film about sharks in tornadoes. Like, how could you get that wrong? And I tweeted something, and then the guy followed me, and that's happened a couple of times. I was watching, what was that one?
Happened to me with Zombievers.
Zombievers. You got you tweeted about Zombievers, and like half the fucking cast followed you on Twitter like the next day. I watched what was it? Await Further Instructions, which I talked about in the last episode, and like 3 of the cast members and one of the producers and the director, and I was like, luckily I'd said it's a great film, but I'd watched. But yeah, I don't know how I've gotten to this, but my worst thing that I've ever seen was I was on my way here, and there used to be a shop in the middle of York called Wok and Go. It doesn't exist anymore, and I really wanted a pad thai, and I had my pad thai in a little bag, and I was on my bike and I was cycling into the office with my little pad thai next to me, and then I got across the road at Fishergate, and I thought, this bag feels really empty, and I turned round and literally like a head that had just spilled open. My pad thai box was lying in the middle of the dual carriageway with just all of the noodles, the chicken, the beautiful vegetables just pouring out into the middle of the road. And it was like something from a Cronenberg film. It's like literally someone had gone like Scanners, like the guy fucking head had just gone boom.
I am so sorry.
And a part of me did contemplate going over there and scooping it back in and being like, whatever. I had a meal deal in the end. It was rubbish.
Oh my god, that is just about the saddest thing.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen. The sight of my poor pad thai.
Poor baby.
Blattered out across the road. I was just like, the pain was real. There you go. There you go. Okay.
I've got another topic for us to talk about.
Ooh.
So I'm really interested because I saw a thing, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I want to talk about it.
Let's find out.
So apparently, it was made by Robert Morgan in 2009, and Guillermo del Toro shared it on Twitter recently.
Why do you know Robert Morgan?
I'm not sure. I should have looked him up, actually. However, it's a short film, and it's called The Cat with Hands. Have you seen it?
I haven't. What is it?
Mate.
The Cat with Hands?
You should all go and watch this, right? I don't want to spoiler it, but basically, it's a cat. It looks real.
Does the cat have hands? Real.
I think it's a puppet or some kind of animatronic.
Well, I'm
thing.
hoping they've not stitched some hands onto a cat.
Oh no, no. So it's a cat.
I'm all for practical effects, but don't go around stitching hands on cats for your film.
So the story goes, there's this guy, and he's telling a story about a boy who finds a cat that has human hands. Right, It's a horror, Jamie. You laugh when you first see it.
It sounds like a Tim Burton
but you won't
story.
be laughing for long.
Okay.
Trust me. It's like 3 minutes long, but by the end of it, I was like, gee, I've written here, the cat with hands. Fuck off.
Fuck off. The cat with hands. Fuck off.
It is terrifying. Like, I mean, can I tell you? Can I say what happens in it? It's only 3 minutes long. I don't want to spoiler it, but like, it's terrifying, and it has human hands, and it's not going to use them for good.
Is it some dark business?
Yeah, there's some dark business.
Some dark business. Because the cat, what's it called?
The cat with hands.
The cat with hands. It's one of those ones when you first hear it, you think, "Oh, it's like a story, like a kid's story." But then the more you say,
Well, I
cat
saw
with
that Guillermo
hands.
del Toro had shared it, and
Cat with
I was like,
hands.
"There's got to be something else to this."
Yeah, like the more you say it, the more you're like, the cat with hands.
I want to say that at one point it approaches the boy.
Does it do a cup?
Yeah.
Does it go?
No.
That's what I do. I do the scare.
But
From that Aphex Twin video with the
Yeah, I do,
with the granny and the yeah, that, but with a cat with hands.
Wow,
Jeebus
that's rude of you.
Christmas. So there you go. A couple of things to check out. Season 1
pretty freaking
of
weird.
Haunting of Hill House, and if you haven't got time to give Netflix 12 hours of your life, you can give the internet 3 minutes of your life and watch Cat with Hands, which I'm going to watch this evening. Apparently. Don't know if I want to now.
Yeah, you do. You'll love it. You'll lose your mind.
Cat with hands.
You'll lose your mind.
A cat with hands.
And going on slightly from the cat theme, the new Pet Sematary film.
Yes. So this is all happening again, isn't it? It's all happening again.
Yeah, but I think it's happening for the better.
No. Like like I feel real bad for Stephen King. I mean, not so bad.
No, he's having a great
he's
time,
having a great
mate.
time and
He's
minted.
a friggin' quadrillionaire.
But like, oh man, like this. I hate the internet. Whenever a new Stephen King film gets announced, and everyone just gets so angry, and they're not even. It's not even out yet, and people are just like, "Ma!" And Stephen King's gone, I really like the film. It's very good. Apparently it's like a very, very distant adaptation.
I believe the quote that I saw was, "This film is scary. Be warned," or something.
Which is what you want from a horror film.
Yeah.
You know, primarily. Like, if a review for a horror film is like, this film was fucking hilarious, you'd be like, and I'm not quite sure that's what we're aiming for here.
Yeah, but usually he just wouldn't say anything, or he'd be like, "You should watch this."
So obviously we're still in the wake of the backlash of
Don't.
No. The Dark Tower.
No. Oh, God.
But then of course there was It's Chapter 1, which is phenomenal, and
Ooh.
people were still like,
That reminds me as well. It 2, of course, that's coming out
you're full of all the nuggets, aren't you?
this year.
It is.
But there's a really cool documentary coming out
Oh, you've seen this, yeah, the making
behind
of
the
the original.
scenes. Oh my
Yeah.
God, what's it called? Pennywise, the story of it. And there's like a really long, I'm going to say 5-minute trailer online at the moment for it.
So
Really good.
the Pennywises.
Pennywise.
The Pennywise. Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård. Just get that flip. Chocolate flip. Chocolate coated pretzel. Yeah, there's obviously like a huge thing about how he's not as good as the original. Skarsgård isn't as good as Tim Curry was. Obviously Tim Curry did it. He didn't have all of the stuff.
Trickery.
What you're seeing is his performance, and it is genuinely quite terrifying. Whereas I'm really interested to see what they do in the second chapter. Now, actually, I think I was still reading it. I was still reading it when we did the last episode of this podcast, because it's obviously it's a book that
Yeah, you were.
It's longer than
Yeah, you
time, but I finished it now. I finished it last year, and I've finished. You're right there with your pint of.
I finished it last year, yeah.
I finished it last year. You're right there with your pint of Copy Decks. That
Yeah,
does look really questionable, mate.
It does,
what are
doesn't
you
it?
drinking? Laura's drinking a half pint of cow semen.
Well, I don't want to finish it
Don't
now.
want to finish that anymore. Yeah, we should talk about what we're drinking. I'm drinking a fine punk IPA lager. Other lagers are available, and Laura
I'm
is-
drinking a raspberry yop.
Laura's cheating.
I wanted to drive.
Laura's cheating.
I'm really sorry. I wanted to drive.
because the show's called Half Hammered Horror.
So half of us are hammered.
Half of us are hammered. I'm hammered. She's not. But I'm letting her do most of the talking tonight. Raw. I'm a tiny dinosaur.
We were singing
With
a
my
song
little
about a dinosaur
hands.
earlier, but you
Who
missed
was?
it. Me and you.
Oh.
I was telling them, not you.
I was there.
You're not the only person in the room, Jamie. Wow.
I've just realised the placement of Myers is just.
Looking over your shoulder. Looking over your shoulder. That's how the guy in the Cat with Hands talks. It's really weird. Yeah, you'll see.
Bloody hell, it's a
really
cat
weird.
with hands.
He's like, I've got a story to tell you about a cat with hands.
Look out, lads, it's a cat with hands. He's coming down. He's got hands and he's a cat.
Hey up, there's a cat down well and he's got bloody hands.
Shit in my hands. It's a cat with hands. Sweet Lord above. Sweet Lord
Shit
above.
in my hands, then clap.
Sorry for those listening on the audio podcast for exploding your eardrums at that point. You just clapped down a
Clap
microphone.
down the middle.
I'll clap down your middle. Oh, don't punch me in the dick.
That was your leg, mate.
Don't punch me in the dick. We bought a new vacuum cleaner and it's a D-E-I-K. So it's a deek.
Dick.
Get your deek out and clean the room. Clean the room with your deek.
Every time we hoover.
Don't panic.
Get
I'm
the
just
dick
gonna
out,
get
mate.
my deek out and rub it on the carpet. Gonna rub my deek on the carpet. Wow. Children of the night. What was I talking about? Yeah. So so obviously I've seen. We watched the Pennywise, the Tim Curry
Yep.
on Blu-ray. I watched both chapters, and then
That's not true.
yeah, it is.
No, we didn't watch the second one.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we get to the end of it?
Yes.
I can't remember seeing Audra on the bike.
Yes.
Did I fall asleep?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Always falls asleep. And then if you I'm always the last person to be like, it's not like the adaptation of the not like the book, but I'm like, I don't know why they made it so linear. Like all the adaptations so far, they're very like, this is the stuff in the 50s or the 80s as it was in the remake, and then this is the stuff in the it was already. I mean, the original was a little bit choppy, like you met some of the adults and some of the, but the book goes all over the place. It's like blah, 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 blah. And I think a lot of people said, oh, you can't adapt that for cinema, but I think you genuinely could. You probably couldn't put in the super weird child orgy scene.
No one
might be
should.
frowned upon. That was a
No one should or
strange
will
moment.
ever.
Everyone had warned me about this, and I thought people were just talking. I thought that everyone was winding me up. I got to the point where I got so far into the book, I had like something like my Kindle was like 5% left, and I was like, people have just a bunch of wankers telling me that all these kids are going to start having a big orgy, and then it happened. These kids were they were just going at it in the sewers. It was awful. It was awful. Apparently, Stanley was the best.
Maybe Momo told them to do it.
Brr, brr. Oh. Well.
What's that? Oh.
I'm just saying, don't be out there, kids. Just take some flowers and some chocolates around. Don't be like, oh, Momo said. Mo. But yeah, the original Pet Sematary it's a very odd film, but again, it's quite a literal
Dated.
translation. Yeah, it's still pretty good though. Like the
Apparently
effects.
the new one's very different.
Yeah,
Maybe some different.
They've done it's quite
film
it's quite a distant adaptation from it. I think he said that they've made a few changes, which I think is good. A lot of people get really frowny at changes, but
have you seen that cat in the trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer.
Jesus Christ!
I haven't seen the trailer.
I would totally snuggle that cat, dead or alive.
We got a lot of cats in films at the moment. Of course, there's that huge backlash against Captain Marvel, which isn't even out yet. Looks amazing, and already people are trying to ruin it for everybody. But it's got a cat in it. I reckon that cat takes Nick's Fury out. It takes his eye out.
Takes Nick's Fury out.
The cat takes Nick's Fury's eye out. The cat takes Nick's Fury's eye out. That's it.
Also, I want to know why she punches an old woman in the face.
Because it's a Cree.
You need to shut your bloody hole.
I do. Jesus.
I don't know what Cree is.
The Kree have been in like all the Marvel stuff for years. The blue dudes.
Yeah,
I think.
I know
Is
a
it?
Kree.
Oh, I probably
Wait.
lost points now. This is a horror podcast, not a fucking superhero film
crap on him.
podcast. Bloody
Biscuit.
I quite like superhero films.
I just wanted to be punching an old woman in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe that old bitch stepped out of line.
On a train.
It's a bus. Is it a train?
I think it's a train.
What are them? Monorail.
Monorail.
What's that sound? Monorail.
You're so lovely, aren't you?
Monorail. Oh, don't do that. They don't need to know about this. Oh, my Lord above. Lord.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
What else we talk? What else you got?
Quiet Place 2.
Pet Cemetery out April 5th. You've done your bloody homework, haven't you? It Chapter 2, September 6th. Doku BTS Penny. Oh, we've done that. We talked about that. This is all very good. This is very good. What are we talking? What's next?
Quiet Place 2.
Oh.
No spoilers, but I think it was all right with just one, to be honest.
Yeah, just maybe leave that alone.
John Krasinski has obviously been offered a lot of money to write.
I mean,
They've said it's not a sequel. They've said it's a continuation of the world.
So the sequel. That's
So
just a wanky way
might
of
not
saying
be the
it's a
same.
sequel. But Emily Blunt's coming back for it. I know she's confirmed.
Fair enough.
Emily Blunt's confirmed.
Well, she would be,
to come
wouldn't she?
back.
Because she's married to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think Quiet Place is one of my favourite horrors.
And I bloody loved it.
Favourite mainstream horrors, anyway. I think this is a thing we've not. It's not on your list. We can maybe swing into this. I recently won a year's subscription to Shudder, and that has been awesome for discovering loads of these little like indie horror films that I would never even have heard of. I've not been aware of. They've not been on my radar, and we've just been loading up some stuff. And there was what we watched Manic.
The one is that the one with the
Stephen Young from
Glenn
from The Walking Dead. I'd heard of that one already. And
That's
then
just crazy.
we watched You Could Be the Killer, which
It
had
could be.
Alison Hannigan. Is it Franz Kranz?
I don't know.
Guy that was in.
Not very good with names.
He was in Cabin in the Woods, and he was in Joss Whedon's Dollhouse, stuff like that. So that was a good film. That was good. That was good. It's a very
Bit of a twist on.
Yeah, it's a very interesting
stuff.
flip. Like, there's no massive spoilers here, but it's sort of it begins with a guy, and he's in the middle of a slasher film, and it's sort of like he's like one of the last guys standing, and he calls out, gets his phone out, and calls out for help to Alison Hannigan's character, who runs a video store, and they sort of discuss the possibility that maybe he's the killer, and then that's the whole film. It kind of goes into like how and why and what, and it just keeps. It was good. It was really good fun. It was really really good fun. Some cracking practical effects.
I did not fall asleep during that film.
Yeah, that's a good sign of. Yeah. It's a sign of a good film. Really good sign of a film. Laura did not fall asleep, and then Manic, which
also didn't fall asleep during that film.
Yes, is a blood infection or something, or a disease that makes people all their inhibitions go and they lose control.
It's like a bioweapon that's been
something like that. Yeah.
Released.
No, I think it's a disease. It's like a disease that the CDC turned up to try and contain, and it affects you for like 8 hours or something.
Makes your eyes go red.
Makes your eye go red.
Makes you like really violent.
Red eye virus or something like that.
Slap bitches around.
That was cool. That was real good fun. That was really good fun. That was like a really good example of like a small film. A small film.
Literally, like just in
budget,
one building.
One office block, and just a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
I think Shudder's like it's like Netflix for horror films.
Well, it is, yeah.
When we first got it, which was like 3 or 4 months ago, it was a little bit
shuddery,
sparse. Yeah, we watched Summer of '87, Summer of '80. Same guy that did Turbo Kid, which was one of my all-time favourite films.
Did what?
Bloody love Turbo Kid. What do you think I said?
I thought you said Turd Bucket.
Turd Bucket.
I was like, what the hell is Turd Bucket?
I'm a sleepy Jamie, so my diction might not be up to snuff tonight. It's been a very long, slightly abusive week, to be honest, hasn't it? But we're not going to talk about all the grown-up stuff that's happened. Awkward. I don't want my legs amputated.
Again.
I've only got 4 left now. It's awful. Can't keep...
Momo? I wonder what noise she makes.
Momo? Callbacks!
Hello? Momo?
Momo. Where are they going to take? Where are they going to take A Quiet Place 2? What? Because like, I've never known a film expose how bloody poorly behaved cinema audiences are. Laura shouted at somebody.
A Quiet Place 2.
Put your phone away.
Turn your phone off.
It was like up there with Hereditary, wasn't it? Like,
What do you mean?
it split people in the same way. Like, Hereditary came out And even like so Hereditary just cleaned up at the Chainsaw Awards, which is by Fangoria, and it got like Best Picture. I think it was like
I
Best
just
Actress.
don't
Tony Collette.
get that.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, I thought it was a really well-made film, and there were some bits in it that literally, like, chilled me.
Oh, I want to
But
fight you.
there's one particular bit at the end, and I was like, no, it's not where I wanted it to go.
Oh,
It's not how I wanted it to be.
Loved it. I think Hereditary was genuinely one of the most frightening films I've ever seen. I was absolutely broken by it.
Shit yourself much.
It absolutely destroyed me. Not even remotely ashamed to say it. I was just a gibbering, sweated mess by the end of that
Gibbering.
film. And even with your mates, a couple of your friends from the cinema came to watch it with us, and they were kind of like throwing banter at the screen. And I was just like, that last 20 minutes, just awful. But like the whole the whole comments on the internet was like, you know, the best actress to Toni Collette, and rightly so, because she's fantastic.
She is good.
And people just like, oh, and it's just like, oh man, nobody puts the same amount of effort in than somebody who doesn't like something. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are still banging on that they don't like Hereditary, and it's like, big deal. It's very easy to avoid Hereditary. Like, you didn't particularly like Hereditary, so you probably won't sit down and watch it again. And you probably won't go on the internet and find people that did like it and start shouting at them and telling them that they're wrong. Like, some people do. People genuinely do this. Like, they hate something so much that they will go and find people, you know, because Momo told them to do it. Hey, why don't you get on the phone, get your internet pockets out?
I don't think she talks like that.
Why don't you get
No.
Why don't you
No.
get?
I think she whispers.
Why don't you?
She doesn't sound like Edna Mode, mate.
Why
She's part duck.
Why don't you?
I don't speak duck, no.
I can only, that's my Donald Duck impression. I can't actually make words. I can
That's
just
the noise
do,
that Rex makes.
I
when
can
he
do his
falls off
angry sound.
something.
You know when Donald Duck's really angry and he
Yeah.
goes, oh, it makes my head hurt.
Okay.
Oh, I've got a headache. Oh, I've made my head hurt. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Technically, I don't know how this is all sounding at the end. We got to get ourselves a techie guy for the next one. We got to get Jacobs in here. We'll get Jacobs down for the night. We'll give him a little place to have a little sleep. And we'll be like, Jack, just come and record our bloody sound for us, because we're just, it's not going well, because we're very rowdy, we're quite unpredictable. We tend to shuffle around and move a lot and and make random sounds. So we can talk like Edna Mode. Right on.
Speaking of Hereditary, I got a film that I think you might like. I don't know, it might be a bit of a marmite. Why am I doing that? Umami. Umami. That's the noise. All the kids are doing it.
What?
Umami.
What's that?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Hang on, what the kids are doing, or what? The kids
alright.
they're going around saying umami at each other.
Umami.
What does it mean?
It keeps you safe from Momo.
Oh, I hate the world.
No, it's not. I just made it up.
Oh.
There's a film called The Curse of La Llorona. LLOR.
Okay. I've not heard of this either.
Really? Oh, really?
How are you more on the? Normally,
Well, I
I'm
saw
the.
a trailer for
Normally,
it
I'm
on,
I'm the guy that's on. I know the stuffs, but
Is it on Netflix, or did I see a trailer on something else? Anyway,
excuse me.
it seems like this woman and her kids have moved into a house, and there's like,
Cats with hands everywhere.
it's a bit of a haunting, well, a haunting situation, and there's like a woman, clearly, I want to say Spanish. You can hear the children hear her crying, and like she spoops a lot. Like, there's a bit in the film where there's
Who are you?
a curtain coming
Swear
out
words.
in the breeze,
Oh
and
no.
there's this little kid sitting in front of it. It goes up like that, and when it goes back, she's behind it, and she's like, whoa! And there's a lot of screeching, and it looks really
This
scary.
sounds to me like something that's going to be fantastic, and then it's going to get remade for an
But-
American audience and be garbage.
Oh no, it's not Spanish.
Was it not?
No, it's American.
Okay.
It's just called The Curse of La Llorona.
Like, what was like Mama, that short. The short Mama,
Yeah.
Mama, whatever it was.
Yeah.
With the two kids.
It looks a bit like that kind. I might be wrong. That kind of vibe, but it looks
Okay.
really beautiful. Nice, really pretty shot film.
Pretty shot film. It's shot real
And that's
good and
out
pretty.
in April.
I feel like this whole episode is just dedicated to giving you things to try and find, which is pretty good. I think this is good. Normally we try and stay like off the kind of the pulse, because you were like no episode numbers, people can pick them up. But this is good because it's
These are
like
just things that I want to talk about.
yeah.
That I
Like,
think.
no, but it's good because it's like it's telling people go watch this, go and watch this, go
And
watch.
then when it comes out, we can watch it and we can talk about it again.
You got cats with hands. You got scary
No,
Spanish
a cat with
ladies. It's just
Because
it's
there's only one
sounding
cat
good.
with hands.
It's sounding good.
So, earlier on today, Jamie put a post on the Redshirt Films page. We asked for topics to talk about tonight.
And
Jamie?
We've got some. Okay, so John Bennett left us. How would you defeat famous horror villains if you were ever caught up in a horror movie style plot? Ooh. Okay. How would you defeat Jigsaw from the Saw films? Laura, you'll find yourself
Well,
in... I can't remember what he sounds like.
I don't
Would you
know.
like
It
to play a
depends because,
game?
like, most of the time you're trapped in a room or something, aren't you? And you
Yeah.
can't really, you don't really get a chance to defeat him because he's a bit of a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely likes
but
to
he's a really frail old guy, isn't
just
he?
shove him.
Well, until he,
Give him a
in the first few,
Give him a shove.
just be like,
Give him a shove.
"Oh my god, are you
Done.
done?" Yeah,
Done.
there you go.
Done.
Unless he had a fake face and
I
you just
like-
punched his fake face. and-
Where does he get his contractors from? Because some of that shit is intricate. Some of the stuff that guy
Did he
builds.
do it himself?
Wait, I mean, how? Where's he get that amount? You got to learn how to weld. He's got good knowledge. I feel like he could have applied his skill set to much more productive means, other than mindlessly torturing people. Go on. What about? Give me one. Give me one. Chuck
Okay,
me one. Go.
How's it worded? How do you defeat Chucky?
I'll just kick him.
No.
Just fucking kick it. Just punt him. As
You
in the doll, Chucky,
Yeah.
Child's Play, remake on the way.
If it was that easy, wouldn't someone have just punted him?
Well, this is the whole thing. Like, I think Child's Play is a very weird one. You've never really watched them, have you? We have
No.
the box set. I think.
Although I really want to see the new one.
I think our first franchise special is going to be on Child's Play because I bought the whole box set, which is like all of them, all the way up to I think it's like Curse or Cult of Chucky, which is the most recent one that came out.
Booting.
And then we've got the new one. It's like a reboot, I think, and it's going to be because do you know much about them at all?
Evil doll.
It's a guy who's like a serial killer, and he gets executed, and his spirit gets into this doll, and then it basically comes alive and it starts killing people and seeking revenge. And then the film's it descends into just lunacy. Like it starts off like it's almost like a Halloween with a small doll that's like killing people. And I was obviously when I was little, I was like, that's pretty terrifying. That's a terrible little. But then you look at it now as like a 38-year-old man, and you just think, why just punt it?
Mm-hmm.
When it appeared and ran towards me,
Nah.
I just punt it
I think
real hard. Punt.
this new film's going to have ways.
Punt.
It's going to be
So
clever.
the new film is they've done away with the supernatural element, and it's meant to be that it's a new toy that's released, and it's a doll.
Yeah, I saw in the
and
trailer
it's
it's got like
a robot.
lasers
Yeah,
scanning.
it's like a robot doll AI, and a lot of the fans are very, very upset about this. But it's fine because it's a different universe, and you can just
They
use
can
the original
coexist.
films are still there. Guess what? It sounds to me like Small Soldiers. Do you remember Small Soldiers? Small Soldiers
Small.
with Tommy Lee Jones and.
I don't think I saw it. I know what you mean, but I don't think I saw it.
What? Well, that's about the
Soldiers
film.
didn't interest me when that film came out.
But it was like that one's about where there are two. Is it the Gorgonites and the Commandos or something? And the Gorgonites are all these little alien dudes, and then the Commando guys. And the guy, to make it exciting, they get these chips from the military, and they install these chips in these toys. Because the idea is that they will fight for you, and like have little battles and stuff. But obviously these chips are like supercomputers, and they become sentient. And they end up having a fight in this neighborhood, and it's very cool. Small Soldiers is amazing.
Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers,
Small
such a good film.
soldiers.
We are the leaders
Is that the
of
theme
the
tune?
Gorgonites. And Tommy Lee Jones is just totally phoning it in, just having a great time, just being shouty Tommy Lee Jones. Oh, yeah, Chucky, I just punt him. I just punt him.
Fair enough.
He's like a foot tall, little prick. Punt. Punt him right out of a window. Come on, use my face. Use my face. Okay, so we have brainstorm a new horror game concept. The more original ideas crammed in, more imaginary points you are awarded. Jesus.
I can't.
Jesus, that's too late at night for that. Who are you? How dare you?
Rob
Coots. Do you know, I used to work in York in an escape room. There's loads of these things in York now, and I now work on a haunted tour bus, the Ghost Bus Tours. Lol, fantastic title. And I've had this. I'd love to make a horror themed escape room. I've been thinking about it, like, you know, probably too late to do it for this Halloween, maybe next Halloween, is to get somewhere, like even the space that we're in now, like there's a room next to us which is the same size as this. So I think if I ever have control over both of the rooms and the film stuff just caved, I don't know, I think this would be such a great space to have. Do you not think? We could definitely, like, yeah. But then I think people would probably sue me for emotional distress.
maybe, yeah.
I'd probably cause too many.
You take it a bit too seriously.
Yeah, I take it too far. I take it too far. I've said recently, so there's a huge wave. The Resident Evil 2 remake has landed, and it's really reinvigorated people's love of survival horror games. I would love to see a video game where you sort of play as a survivor, or a you know, not like this, the Friday the 13th or the what was it, Dead by
Dawn.
The other one, the one that's like the Friday the 13th game, but it's got like Michael Myers and Freddy in, and
Oh yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
But like, so the film The Relic that we watched a horror film, The Relic, recently, the one with that guy with his
Oh yeah, with Arsha.
Rafe Spall, about the guys that get lost in the hills, and this is monster. And I think, like, a horror game where you are in the woods and there's something coming for you and you have to try and outwit it and survive, and it's all like very real, like you got to look after yourself, you got to, like, nutrition and health and sleep and mental state and stuff, almost like a Blair Witch game. I mean, I'm sure there must be a Blair Witch game. It'd probably be some kind of trash third person beat 'em up or something, where you're just basically punching loads of twigs in the face or something. But like a really good game where it's like, it's just all about the stillness and the quiet and just things
Sounds real good.
coming for you.
Oh no.
And you've just got to try to not get got. And maybe there isn't an end. Like, I mean, the challenge is just survive. See if you can survive, and you can try and fight it. You can try and run it, and you can approach it in that way. But there is just some kind of entity out there that is coming for you. I think that'd be a lot of fun. The sort of game that you'd play in here, like with your headphones on, just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's, yeah. Let me work on it, Rob. Let me work on it. Rob's, I'm going to skip that one because that looks like a lot of words. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, what are your top 3 alcohol and horror media pairings? Like a wine and food pairing, but more relevant to your demographic.
Oh God, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
No, my mind's not quick enough for something like this. I want to say something funny, but I haven't got the words.
So we're going to be launching an extra part to this in a couple of weeks' time, once I figure the tech of it out. It's originally Half Hype and Horror started its life as a gaming channel. We were gonna play video games whilst shit-faced. And it was kind of, what was it called? It was 8 Blitzed. That's what it's called. It was called 8 Blitzed. And the first episode that we did one episode of it, and it was called Resident Rum. Do you remember? And basically, we played Resident Evil 7, streaming it into the internet with a camera on us whilst drinking vast quantities of rum. And I think I like that idea. I like the idea of, like, taking, like, when we do I'm going to be doing some, like, old-fashioned gaming stuff down here whilst having a drink. My liver is going to hate me at this rate. I'm just going to literally be found dead in a ocean of diarrhea and vomit downstairs. What
And
happened?
Tide
Tide Pods and Momo in the corner just going, what happened? Oh, he recorded too many podcasts. Tipped himself over the edge finally. He ruined everything. Yeah, I don't know. I think, how do you pair, like,
Resident Evil and rum.
slashes and sambucas?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah?
I think, so Friday the 13th would be like, because it's set at Crystal Lake. Oh my god, what about Crystal?
Crystal Lake.
Yes. Crystal Lake for Friday the 13th.
Beautiful.
What else have we got? Texas Chainsaw Massacre would have a Bloody Mary.
And tequila. Tequila Chainsaw Massacre. This is harder than you think. Just follow your heart. just follow your heart. And the last one, I can remember this because it was a very short one. It just said, what is the difference between horror and terror? Ooh, I like that.
Oh, the horror.
So, I think I was genuine. I felt terror towards the end of Hereditary. Like, some of the imagery, it did. Like, it could feel the sort of horror is a kind of, it's a twisted word. So, like, horror makes me kind of feel a bit like, you know, when you're watching a film and it's so kind of messed up that you're like, do you know what I mean? Like, kind of, you know, the slasher movies and stuff like that has that kind of macabre, you know, horrible twist to it. But terror are moments like
all-consuming.
Yeah, where you just go, oh. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like the Haunting of Hill House. In the moment when it's revealed, the twist involved, I won't spoil it, but the twist involving the bent neck lady, that moment when you realise what's going on and you just kind of go, oh, shit.
Would you say that's what?
Terror.
Oh, I know.
That crawling, that dread that just like...
I think terror is like, you'd scream at it. Okay, I think horror is me being afraid of walking around the dark places on my own.
Okay.
And I think that terror would be if, when I was walking around those places, the thing I was scared of came at me.
It came at me. It came at me.
Do you get what I mean?
No. Like,
horror is the fear of something happening.
Okay.
And terror is that thing happening. That's what I think.
Okay, so how would you, like, so cinema has never made you feel terror before?
Oh, yeah. Like, when I saw Blair Witch Project at the end, and I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I mean, that feeling of like, where a story almost takes it to a place that it's so unexpected that you feel almost winded by it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that final bit of Blair Witch when he's stood in the corner and you're just like, oh, Lord above. And for me, like the last 10 minutes of Hereditary, because you're not frightened by it. You just feel kind of emptied out.
Yeah.
That to me, that's what terror is.
I'm interested
where you
to
just
know
feel like,
what the definition is of these two words.
Webster's dictionary defines horror as... I'd look, but my phone will make...
So, tell us in the comments.
Tell us in the comments, what do you think the difference is between horror and terror?
And then we'll tell you if you're wrong or right.
Yeah, we'll come around our house and murder you if you're right. Or wrong. I haven't decided yet. But going back, way back, Quiet Place 2, where are they going to take that?
Wow.
What do you think they're going to do? I looked at
idea,
my
mate.
eyes flicked at your list and I was like... Oh,
no, well, it's not possible to know, is it? He's not even written it yet.
Yeah, but where do you think he's going to take it? What do you think he's going to do with it?
I don't know, I guess like probably the natural thing seems to me like they'd find more people.
Maybe they'll flip it round. Maybe the monsters will evolve and the only way to get rid of them is to be really loud all the time. So it's just a 2-hour long film of people going, ah, fuck off.
I mean, I've got an idea of what could happen, but it would be a massive spoiler to talk about it. So, because the end of the film is quite very easily spoiled, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my God, can you all just catch up, please? For Christ's sake, just sit down and watch a fucking film. Oh my God.
You've dropped like 50 F-bombs tonight.
I don't give a shit, mate. Who gives a shit? It's been an awful week. I'm letting out my emotions. What else you got on your list then, bro?
Santa Clarita Diet.
Santa Clarita.
It's coming back.
Diet. Oh, when's it back?
March the 29th.
March the 29th. This is genuinely one of our favourite shows.
Yep.
It really has a lot of fun with the zombie genre.
In the trailer.
Oh, there's a trailer?
Yeah, there's a trailer.
You've been a busy beaver, haven't you?
I think it's on Netflix, actually. Like, you know, they do a release-y trailer.
Yeah.
I think it's... I remember there being wedding music in it, but I think, like, it's, like, lots of bits of them talking cut together to make it sound like they're having to hold vows.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's suggesting... Something. Like, he's gonna...
Bloody love Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh.
Bloody love it, mate.
Oh.
The hype is real.
Yeah, so that's back soon. I'm looking forward to that because it combines all my favourite things.
Drew Barrymore, Timothy Oliphant.
And he's got more silver in his hair now than he did have in the last series.
Silver Fuente. That's
the brown
nice.
voice has happened.
I didn't mean to do the brown voice. I feel this is a very it's been a very civilized episode of Half Hammered Horror. I feel like we've been quite
because I'm not
sleepy.
wasted.
Yeah, you're not wasted. I'm actually more. This is more like the half battered horror. I'm just like, I just finished a Ghostbuster and I literally was like halfway around. I was stood in there's a place we go to, like an old hanging site called St George's Field, and I was just stood in the middle of the field with like 20 odd people just being like, ghosts. There's ghosts. There's some ghosts. See that bridge over there?
Oh, sorry,
Ghosts.
little boops there.
Ghosts everywhere, just ghosts everywhere. You flipping ghosts.
Ooh.
So I think we'll cut this one short. I think
Yeah.
We're coming to like 55 minutes. I think that's a red.
Geez.
We've always sort of said we wanted to hit them about an hour, but I think before we go, we should. For those of you who have been supporting us and everything, I think we're going to talk more about this in the next episode. But we're going to launch a Patreon for these things because we're going to start doing the video game stuff and we're going to start doing these hopefully once every month at the bare minimum. We've got the Heap coming out online as well, so you're going to be getting an episode of the Heap. There's like 7 or 8 of those, some maybe 6 of those, I don't know, I can't count. And then you're going to have the Half Hammered Horror, and then you're going to have the video gamey thing, and then there'll be something else.
Lots of other joyous moments that we can all share together.
And the reason why a lot of people are like, well, but why a Patreon? Why a Patreon? The reason being is that this office space costs us about £55 a week. And Laura and I are looking. We're going to move at some point over the next year or two, and this space will become kind of redundant in a way. But we need it to keep filming things in. But we're going to have a home office where we work from. But this would be nice to keep this space going. What we would probably do is take all of the equipment out that's we use for day-to-day filming jobs and everything, and we would just solely turn this room into a little studio.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we? Yeah, we just turn it into a studio. We'd have a little gaming corner over there. We'd have this permanently set up because every time we want to do a Half Hammered Horror, it's quite a ball ache, to be honest. It's why we're a bit late on this one. It's quite a ball ache because I've got to come in and I've got to set up I've got a massive bump on my arm. Look at that.
Good.
What is that thing there? There's a growth coming out my elbow. Weird. But yeah, I got the light box and everything takes about an hour to set everything up, and then takes about an hour to put the room back together again. And it's just time that we don't really have. So yeah, if we want to keep this space, which we would like to, we need to find a way to generate £50 a week.
Patreon.
So yeah, we'll launch a Patreon, and feel free to ignore it. And we won't badger people for it. It'll just be sat there. And if people wanna, then do. If you don't, then whatever. We don't need your money.
Cry for help.
Cry for help.
Well,
Good
I
night.
guess, yeah.
You put that inside of you.
I know, right? It was a yacht, mate. It's lovely.
Yeah, it looks real nice.
Oh, you put it on the table.
Ooh. Ooh. Tastes alright, that.